Hey guys, welcome back to another impressions video, and this is going to be a quick one for the following game right here, Mario Party Island Tour for the Nintendo 3DS. And let me just say that, well, this is yet another entry in the Mario Party series. Obviously, it's a very popular series that started on the Nintendo 64, and before I delve into the details of this version, let me just say that the original Mario Party game for the Nintendo 64, I have a lot of fond memories playing that game with my friends. It was one of our to-go, local multiplayer games, couch games, whatever you want to call it. And we played that game for hours and hours upon end. I remember getting blisters on the palm of my hand from doing all those mini games where you had to rotate the stick on the Nintendo 64 controller. Fond memories of playing that game. I have a lot of fun, and if I have to pick a favorite of mine in the series, I would go with the original version. And then Mario Party 2 came out. That was another fun title, but I did not put as much time as I did with the original game. And after Mario Party 2, I kind of lost interest in the series. And I do have Mario Party 8 for the Wii, I believe. But fast forward to today, and you have Mario Party Island Tour, which is a 2014 release. Essentially, if you don't know what this is, it's a collection of board games that have different mini games at the end of each round, and you have up to 4 people competing and in the mini games, and at the end of the board game, whoever scores the most points or stars is declared the winner. It's been the same formula ever since the first game released on the Nintendo 64, and let me just start by saying that this game is a pretty big disappointment in my opinion, and I really cannot recommend this game to anybody unless you're a hardcore Nintendo fan and you collect Nintendo games or something like that, or if you're a parent and you have young kids. The cool thing about this game is that it does have download played, which means that you only have to have one cartridge, and if you have more people around you, they can use the download play feature, and essentially you can use one cartridge to play with up to 4 people. So if you have a bunch of kids, then you can buy one cart and have them, you can keep them busy or entertained for a little bit with this game. But overall, I don't think this game is worth the price of admission of $40 or however much it's worth. Thankfully, I got this for free on some time ago. Best Buy had a buy one get one free on 3DS games because it really is a disappointment. Essentially because there is a nice concept in the game. For example, when you go to play the regular board game, in this version of the game, the boards are separated in time-wise, if you will. For example, they have short boards, they have medium-length boards, and then they have the full-fledged boards. And the game does tell you the approximate time that it'll take to complete each board, which is a nice option because if you have a commute, for example, in the train or the bus to your work daily, you can maybe pick the shortest board, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So the concept is nice because they kept in mind that this is a handheld game. This is a handheld version of the Mario Party series. So if you're on your commute to work or whatever, it does give you the option to play a short board. Now the problem is that that's the first board I played, by the way. Just to try the game out, I played the shortest one, which is like a 15 to 20 minute board. And out of those 15 to 20 minutes, I would say 70% you spend, watching your character go around the board, throwing the dice and watching the computer do the same thing. And only 30% of that accounts for real gameplay. Not to mention that the rules in some of the boards are a little bit ridiculous. The shortest board in the game, for example, it's basically a race. Whoever gets to the finish line first wins. And there are some rules that, for example, if you land on a warp spot, you may get switched between your position and the computer. So I think I was leading at one point, the race, if you will, and then I landed, in the wrong. I threw the dice and I landed in the spot where the warp was. So I went from first to third, just like that. So there's a big luck element, which, in all honesty, luck has always been a part of the Mario Party series, but it's a bigger element in this version of the game and that's not a very good thing in my opinion, because you could be leading and winning, and then all of a sudden you get a bad number and you land on the wrong spot and you basically lose the game, and there's very little chance of comeback, especially if you're playing a short board, which is very disappointing. Another disappointing thing is, let me start with the positive. The game does make use of the exclusive 3DS features, such as the second screen where you can draw, or the microphone in the game. There are some mini games that use the microphone, and other mini games that use the touchscreen. So it does make use of the 3DS features, and it gives a little bit of a variation in terms of mini games. Because in previous versions of the games, you always had smashing the button, tapping the button, or as fast as you can, or things like that. And this version of the game does include some new gimmicks, if you will. Now the problem is that a lot of the mini games they feel like micro games from the WarioWare series, in the sense that they're extremely short. So the idea and the concept maybe was correct in the sense that this is a handheld or portable game. So they try to make you finish the mini games as quickly as possible, but some of them are way too quick, and it feels like you never experience the mini games to the full length. Some of them are over in less than 30 seconds, in less than 20 seconds in some cases, and in my opinion that's not very fun, and a lot of them require you to rely a lot on your reflexes, and they're not really skills based. There's a lot of luck and reflex based mini games that are very short and not very enjoyable. So the mini game design, if you will, in this game, it's probably one of the worst in the series. Granted, again, my experience with the series only relies on the first game, the second game, the Mario Party 8, I think, for the Wii, and now this version of the game. But by far, this has, in my opinion, the most poor selection of mini games. If I were to recommend a game mode, I would probably play Bowser's Castle, or Bowser's Tower, I think it's called, where essentially you go from you start at the bottom floor, and then you work your way up in the Bowser Tower, and until you reach the end to face him. And what this is, it's not a board game. You don't roll the dice or anything like that. You just go from one floor to another, and you have to play a mini game or a set of mini games in order to move to the next floor. So it allows you to explore different types of mini games, and you get to choose between two options. So if you have played a mini game previously, you can pick the new one just to experience a new mini game, and then after 3 or 4 floors you always reach a boss fight, and in order to defeat the boss fight, each one is different. So in my opinion, that's the highlight mode of this version of the game, because you don't have to deal with the old rolling the dice crap and waiting for the computer to for their turn and things like that. So that, in my opinion, is the best mode. Either that or the just going straight into the options menu, and you can pick to play the different mini games freely. So if you have a favorite mini game or mini games, you can go there and repeat the set mini game as many times as you want. But overall, the board design, like I said, the board design combined with the mini game design in this game is not very good, which hence why it's not a very enjoyable experience. The graphics are adequate. It's a Mario Party game, so don't expect to see great graphics or anything like that, but they're adequate. It's very colorful. It's based obviously on the Mario universe. As far as characters that you can select, you have characters like Mario, Wario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, a wide selection of characters that really don't play a significant role. You can really pick just about any character, and they all control the same, really. And then the soundtrack, obviously, classic Nintendo tunes. It's enjoyable, but nothing great, nothing too memorable. So in my opinion, Mario Party Island Tour, in my opinion, a big disappointment, and I really cannot recommend this game unless, again, you're a parent and you have younger kids, or if you're a 3DS collector, then I would say yes, go ahead and and add this to your collection. But other than that, if you're looking for a mini game collection or anything like that, skip this one. There are better mini game collections out there, you know, such as Nintendo Land, or you know, the Game & Wario, or the WarioWare games. In my opinion, are much better. It's really a shame that this version did not pan out too well. Now that the upcoming Wii U version is coming out, you know, I'm not very looking forward to that version, to be honest. I'll probably pick it up when the price drops down. But overall, in my opinion, Mario Party Island Tour, not a very solid game for the Nintendo 3DS, and just not a very good game overall. So that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later.